You can't always control what happens around you, but you can always control what happens within you. The world will test you, people will test you, life will test you, but the real question is, will you pass the test of calm? Because calmness is not weakness, it's mastery. It's the proof that you've taken charge of your mind instead of letting the chaos of the world take charge of you. Life doesn't reward panic, it rewards poise. The stronger your mind becomes, the less the outside world can shake you. Most people live in reaction mode. Something happens, someone says something, something goes wrong, and immediately emotions take the driver's seat. The heart races, the voice rises, and before they even realize it, they've handed over their power to the situation. But the person who learns to respond instead of react is the one who stays in control. That's the difference between chaos and composure, between frustration and focus. When you react, you give the outside world permission to control your inside world. But when you respond, you're telling life, I decide how I feel. I decide how I act. You move from being a victim of your emotions to being a master of them. That's a powerful shift, and it changes everything. There's a small space between what happens and what you do next. In that space lies all your wisdom, your strength, and your peace. The problem is, most people fill that space with noise. They rush to speak, to defend, to fight, to fix. But those who have trained their minds, they pause, they take a breath. They let the storm settle before they make their move. Because once your emotions settle, your clarity returns. You don't have to respond instantly. In fact, the longer you wait, the more intelligent your response becomes. Think of it this way, even fire can't spread without oxygen. And in the same way, anger, conflict, and panic can't grow if you don't feed them with your reaction. Every time you choose silence over shouting, patience over panic, and thought over impulse, you're not being passive, you're being powerful. Responding means you understand that not everything deserves your energy. It's realizing that control doesn't come from dominating others. It comes from mastering yourself. The calm person doesn't have fewer problems. They've simply learned how to handle them with precision. So, the next time life tests you, when someone tries to provoke you, when the plan falls apart, when pressure builds, don't react. Step back, breathe, remember who you are and what you stand for. Then respond with intention, not emotion. Because that moment of pause could be the difference between regret and respect, between chaos and control, between losing your peace and protecting it. That's emotional discipline, that's self-mastery, and that's what separates those who survive life's storms from those who are shaped by them. Your peace is your most valuable possession. It's not something you stumble upon. It's something you build, protect, and guard like a priceless treasure. Because once you lose your peace, everything else begins to fall apart. Your clarity fades, your confidence shakes, and your joy starts to leak away. That's why wise people treat their peace like it's sacred ground. Not everyone is allowed to walk on it. Life is full of noise, opinions, drama, expectations, negativity. People will project their chaos onto you, and if you're not careful, you'll start carrying emotions that don't even belong to you. Guarding your peace means having the courage to say, "That's not mine to carry." It means learning to walk away from conversations that drain you, environments that unsettle you, and habits that steal your stillness. Protecting your peace doesn't make you cold, it makes you conscious. Some people think peace comes from avoiding problems, but true peace is built in the middle of them. It's knowing that even when the world gets loud, you don't have to match its volume. You can choose calm. You can choose control. You can choose silence. And the moment you realize that peace is a choice, not a circumstance, you become unstoppable. When you start valuing peace, you also start valuing distance. You begin to understand that not everyone deserves access to you. Some people bring peace, others bring problems, and it's your job to know the difference. Don't let anyone's chaos rent space in your mind. You decide who gets a seat at your table. If someone consistently brings confusion, it's okay to love them from afar. That's selfish, it's survival. USIZES, when your naism's calm, your decisions are wiser. When your emotions are steady, your energy is stronger. Peace gives you power because it gives you perspective. You stop reacting to every little thing. You stop chasing validation. You stop explaining yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. You simply start walking in quiet confidence, knowing that your peace is not for sale. And here's the truth, the more peaceful you become, the more the world will try to test it. Life will send distractions disguised as opportunities, people disguised as lessons, and chaos disguised as urgency. But if you've built your peace from within, none of it can shake you. So hold your peace close, guard it like gold. Because in a world where everyone's shouting, the person who stays calm holds the real power. Your peace is your fortress, protect it, live in it, and never let anyone steal it just because they've lost their own calm is not something you're born with. It's something you build. It's a skill, not a gift. And like any skill, it takes daily practice, patience, and persistence to master. You don't become calm by reading about it or wishing for it. You become calm by being tested, again and again, and choosing discipline over impulse every single time. Every situation that tries to irritate you is not an inconvenience, it's training. Every delay, every difficult person, every unexpected setback is your mental gym. You can either get frustrated or get stronger. You can either complain about the test or use it to build your endurance. The truth is, calmness doesn't come from escaping problems. It comes from learning to stay centered while facing them. When life tests you, don't rush to react. Step back and ask yourself, what is this moment teaching me? Because life is a classroom, and every challenge is a lesson in emotional control. The more you practice staying composed in small moments, the more prepared you become for the big ones. If you can stay patient in traffic, you're training for the day when life puts you in situations far more demanding than a red light. Every minor frustration is an opportunity to strengthen your emotional muscles. You can't expect peace in chaos if you never train in discomfort. Calmness grows where resistance exists. It's forged in moments where your patience is stretched, your expectations are unmet, and your plans fall apart. The people who appear unshakable didn't get there overnight. They earned that level of self-control through daily discipline. They faced storms, disappointments, and betrayals. And instead of breaking down, they trained their minds to rise above the noise. The key is consistency. You don't need to spend hours meditating in silence, though that helps. You just need to notice your reactions throughout the day and choose differently. When someone offends you, pause before replying. When things go wrong, breathe before complaining. When you feel pressure, slow down before deciding. Each of those moments is practice, and the more you practice, the more natural calmness becomes. Remember this, your emotions work for you when you train them, but they work against you when you neglect them. Don't wait for peace to find you, build it. It's not about being emotionless. It's about being emotionally disciplined. The calm person feels everything but remains ruled by nothing. That's the ultimate strength, control without suppression, patience without weakness, and stillness without passivity. So train your mind daily. Treat every challenge as a rehearsal for greatness. Because the goal is not to live a life without storms. The goal is to become the person who can walk through the storm with steady steps and a quiet mind. That's not luck. That's not natural talent. That's training, and training done every single day. Your mind is the most powerful place you'll ever live in. It's where every victory begins and where every defeat is born. The words you speak to yourself every day shape how you think, how you feel, and ultimately how you live. That's why mastering your inner dialogue isn't optional, it's essential. Because no matter what happens around you, the conversation inside your head will always decide how you handle it. Most people lose battles that never even leave their minds. They wake up already at war with their own thoughts. I'm not good enough. I can't handle this. What if I fail? And those words become self-fulfilling prophecies. Your mind believes what you repeatedly tell it. So if you constantly speak doubt, fear, or limitation, don't be surprised when your life starts reflecting that same energy. The first step toward calm is to take command of the voice inside you, the one that narrates your life story. You see, your inner dialogue can either be your coach or your critic. It can lift you up or tear you down. It can tell you, you've got this, or whisper, you never will. And whichever voice you feed more, that's the one that grows stronger. If you want peace, you must train your thoughts to serve you, not sabotage you. Every time your mind starts to spiral into panic, stop and reframe. Don't say, I can't handle this. Say, I've handled worse. Don't say, why is this happening to me? Say, this is preparing me for something greater. The words don't just change your mood, they change your mindset. Mastering your inner dialogue doesn't mean ignoring reality. It means interpreting it with strength. It means understanding that thoughts are just visitors. They only stay if you let them. When negative thoughts knock on your door, you don't have to invite them in for dinner. Observe them, challenge them, replace them. Tell yourself the truth, not the fear, not the drama, but the truth. You've survived every bad day so far. You've overcome things you once thought would break you. You are stronger than your doubts want you to believe. It takes awareness to do this. You must become the gatekeeper of your mind, filtering what gets in and what stays out. Don't let your mind run wild like an untrained horse. Direct it, discipline it, speak to it with intention. Feed it with gratitude, hope, and resilience. Talk to yourself the way a leader would talk to their team. Firm, focused, and encouraging. When you learn to command your inner world, the outer world can no longer control you. Because calmness isn't the absence of noise. It's the ability to stay centered despite the noise. And that begins inside. Your thoughts create your emotions. Your emotions drive your actions. And your actions shape your results. If you want peace on the outside, build it on the inside first. So the next time your mind starts whispering doubt, answer it with truth. The next time fear rises, speak faith louder. The next time you feel chaos, remind yourself, well, I'm in charge here. Because once you master your inner dialogue, no situation, no person, and no storm can take your calm away. The real battlefield is within, and victory begins the moment you take control of your own voice. True calmness isn't loud, and it doesn't need to announce itself. It moves quietly with depth and certainty. That's the essence of the saying, still waters run deep. The surface may look still, but underneath lies great strength, great understanding, and great power. That's what a calm mind represents, depth. It's not empty silence, it's controlled energy. It's the strength of someone who doesn't need to prove, perform, or panic, because they've already mastered themselves. People often mistake stillness for weakness. They assume that if you're not shouting, you're not strong. But strength doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers. Sometimes it simply stands still while everything around it trembles. Calmness is not about doing nothing. It's about doing what matters most, with clarity and precision. It's the person who speaks softly, but whose presence commands the room. It's the person who can handle storms without letting the storm handle them. The calm person has learned one of life's greatest lessons, that reacting emotionally to everything only drains your energy. When you're calm, you're not ignoring reality. You're mastering it. You're observing, analyzing, and waiting for the right moment to move. Just like deep waters, they don't rush. They don't crash without purpose. They flow with intention. Calmness gives you the ability to think deeply before acting, to speak with reason instead of emotion, and to act with wisdom instead of impulse. Still waters don't compete with the waves. They let the waves crash and settle while they remain steady underneath. That's how you must be. Let others panic, let others gossip, let others explode in emotion, you stay composed. Because composure is power. The one who can stay calm when everyone else is losing their cool becomes the one everyone turns to for guidance. You can't lead from chaos. Leadership comes from clarity, and clarity lives in calm minds. Calmness doesn't mean you're detached from the world. It means you're deeply connected to something greater than the noise. You've built your foundation so solid that circumstances can shake the surface, but never the core. That's why people who are truly calm don't talk about it. They embody it. You feel it in their tone, their timing, their choices. They move like the ocean, graceful, grounded, and unbothered by temporary waves. And here's the beauty. When you learn to cultivate that inner stillness, your energy becomes magnetic. You attract peace because you are peace. You stop needing to control everything because you trust that you can handle anything. The noise of the world no longer pulls you in because your silence has become stronger than its chaos. So remember, still waters run deep. Don't be afraid to be the quiet one, the steady one, the observer in the crowd. The world may overlook calmness, but calmness never loses its value. It's the mark of maturity, wisdom, and real confidence. Anyone can be loud when things go well. Only the strong can stay still when life gets turbulent. Be that strength. Let your silence speak, let your peace lead, and let your calm become the anchor that keeps you grounded when the world tries to pull you under. Because real power doesn't shout. It simply stands still and smiles, knowing it's already in control, my friends. If you want real power, not the loud, flashy kind, but the quiet, unshakable kind, train your mind to stay calm. Because when your mind is calm, your decisions are clear. And when your decisions are clear, your results are certain. Calm is your superpower. Don't lose it cheaply. Stay steady when others stumble. Be still when others shout. And when life throws you into the storm, smile. Because you know something most people don't. You've trained your mind. And nothing can move the one who's mastered himself.